cute, not the little one. You hoes know what the fuck going on.
Welcome back, guys.
Hey, Pretty Little Money. Y'all know what the fuck going on.
Pretty Little Money?
I said Pretty Like Money. Don't do
No,
that.
you didn't. Run it back.
Don't
You said
fucking
Pretty
do
Little
that.
Money.
I said Pretty Like Money. You Pretty Little Money. Y'all know what the fuck going on.
In the shit except on fucking main slump, hanging up the rim like it's fucking game time. Dogging on this rental cause this motherfucker ain't mine.
Look, I threw it 30 in the Celtic, it got hang time. Hang time, so hunting around the way to try and blame mine. You know I'm really giving
Welcome
You know
back.
what the fuck going on.
Welcome back, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing.
Yes.
Thank you for telling the gang. Because obviously y'all telling y'all aunties, uncles, mamas, pappies, whatever, because the numbers are going up.
We love you.
Yes, we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys tuning back in, and welcome back. We're at episode, what is it?
9.5.
9.5. Okay, so we're back in the trap. We're thugging it real quick. This is pretty much just like a quick little side episode because, you know, we have a lot of fun on the show. We talk about a lot of crazy things and whatever, but we wanted to tap into mental health and kind of like some more real topics, you know, and more serious topics. So I wanted to ask Juan, how comfortable did you feel with getting open with the people? What do you feel like sharing? What do you know, about mental health? What are some things that you want to say about that or your experience?
I don't know where you're going with this.
I don't know. I'm just, you know, mental health. Mental health is such a big
mental health
range,
check-in.
you know? Yeah, it's like, where are you now? Where were you in the beginning of the year? What did you get through this year?
This year was one of the hardest years of my life, but it was also the year that saved me. So it was like I had to go through the storm to get to the sunshine. I'm at the sunshine. Thank you, Lord. This year was like, out of a 10, it was a good 3. I'm being nice. It was a good 3. It was horrible.
For your mental health?
Yeah, it was horrible. Everything was like happening. Everything was happening left and right or whatever. And I was like, I know when people say like fighting demons, but my shit was like for real. Like, and don't get me wrong, like they still kind of like fuck with me, but they not like as strong.
But what does that look like? What do you mean fighting demons? What does that look like for you?
Temptation. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing something, but I want to do it because
it makes you feel good for a second.
Nah. Like a risk. Like it's like a drug dealer. Like, you know you're not supposed to be doing that, but you're taking that risk because it's fast money and, you know what I mean? The risk is either death or jail. And shit that I was kind of doing wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And I learned that God has a bigger plan for me. So he put me in a situation where I had no choice but to get out of that shit. And I thought it was one of the most horrible things. So I'm like, nah, I want to stay where I'm at or whatever. But he had bigger plans for me. And he walked me through what I was going through and brought me to the next. And that's the sunshine. And he's still currently working on me to get to where I need to be. So, yeah. So right now I'm at a good 8, maybe 9, maybe something like that. But yeah, I'm at a good 8. I'm in a good space.
That's good.
And I'm very thankful for my tribe of all my people that walks with me. And, you know, I love you guys.
And we love you back.
Yeah.
And I always want to tell my friends, like, it's never an inconvenience or, you know, bother. Me, out of all people, I would never judge anybody. I can't, like, I've been through so many different avenues that I can't judge anybody. So telling me, you know, something that you're going through is not going to inconvenience me. It's not ruining my day. It's not bothering me. It's, you know, I feel like we live in a world where people kind of just want to paint this picture of everything is just so easy, and it's really fucking not. Like, and we're always going to keep it a buck with y'all. And so that's why I wanted to do this episode and just kind of like be real and be human with people, because it's not always laughs and a great
Glitz
time.
and
And,
glamour.
yeah, like we go through real shit and we're parents and we struggle and we like our mental health gets compromised sometimes. And what do you do to get yourself out of that? How do you make it out of that? Like that's something that's very overlooked. Like the stuff that we see, the stuff that we go through on a daily, like it's just crazy. It's crazy, especially in the small town. Like if you know, it's just a lot. And sometimes it can be too much. So it's like, what do you do to get yourself back? And so what are some things that you did when you felt like when you reached that 3 that you had to do to get yourself back?
Shout out to my therapist. I've been with my therapist for a good, I want to say 13 years. Thing that I fucked up at is like I wasn't honest. Like I knew something was like fucking up, like I wasn't right, but I wasn't saying that. Like so when I had my therapy sessions with her, like I'm telling her, everything cool, and she like, okay. I think she kind of knew that I was lying, but I wasn't being honest. I wasn't really being honest.
She's known you for that long. I'm pretty sure she picked up on something.
Yeah, I wasn't being honest with nobody around me because I felt like
you weren't.
Yeah, nobody want to hear that sad shit. Like, what you? Why? That's just how I felt. Not saying that anybody around me made me feel like that, but
absolutely, yeah.
It was just like I'm about to keep talking about this shit. Like, I don't know. It was just everything just started spiraling out, and
you thought you had it. It was kind of like a
pride
thing.
I had it, and I did not.
And that's okay. Like we don't. Nobody gives you a manual for this. Like nobody gives you a manual how to do what the fuck we do and how to juggle work and our passion and our, side hustles and everything else. Our kids, like nobody tells you how to do it. Like
I'm very fast paced. I like to move very fast. So when shit started slowing up, I'm like, wait, what? Like, no. I gotta figure this out. Like, it gotta go back to full speed. And it's okay to like slow down. Like, you really have to like slow up and like stop and pay attention. Like, moving fast pace ain't nah. That's like unrealistic.
That's a fact. It's like you're a robot.
That's what I was.
Yeah. You can't function like that.
Fucking robot. But yeah, like now, I'm very honest with everybody around me. I don't know. I like to be creative. Being creative is like a very good space for me. Like I love doing that. No matter
it's like
what
a good outlet for you.
Yeah, it's very much a good outlet. And I don't know, me being an empath, a lot of people draw towards me. So like helping them helps me. It makes me feel a lot better. I don't got all the answers, but I can help you a little bit. Talk to me. Share space. Sharing space is huge. Even if we're not talking about nothing, you need me to sit there with you, I'm there.
Right. If you don't know how to comfort someone, like what to say to comfort someone, just be there.
I'm just there. I'm just there. We could sit there in pure fucking silence. Whenever you ready, we here.
So as far as like, mental health and stuff, would you want to get open with about, anything that you are diagnosed with, or if you are open to medication?
I've been diagnosed with PTSD. That's from where I come from all the trauma that I've been through. I have anxiety as well. Sometimes my anxiety be shooting, and it triggers my PTSD. Well, PTSD triggers my anxiety because now I'm nervous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, there's like this huge stigma of like, oh, you take meds? Like, oh, you crazy. I hate that. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking meds. If that's how you gotta function, some people do drugs. That's how they gotta fucking function. If you gotta take meds, oh fucking well. That's how you function. At least you took the opportunity.
You need to find your lane. Right. Yeah, it's like everything doesn't work for everyone, and
the people that judge you might want to get meds.
They might need them.
Stop doing them fucking drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Except for weed.
Okay. Is that a drug?
Weed is, I guess, considered a substance. No. Anyways,
but I do have a question. And it's not to switch gears, but it just made me think. If London wanted to smoke weed, would you allow her to smoke weed?
With me.
Oh, so we just rolling up.
It depends on how old she is, but you're definitely 14. Gonna smoke. Yeah.
We just rolling up, Mom. What's up?
One time.
So we're trying it with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because my mom did that with liquor, and I respected her forever. So.
Okay, so she could only smoke in your house, not in a.
We're gonna try that one time, and we're gonna make it. We're not gonna make it a daily thing. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna smoke like the best shit with her, so she's gonna be way too high. She's not gonna like it. So that's the plan.
What if that opens the door? Like that shit that my mother had was so fire. I gotta do this shit every day to function.
Now, my plan is to just have an open relationship with her, and if she feels like she, needs it, we can work on when she's old enough getting a weak card. Like, we can do it legally. But I'm just definitely like open communication. Be open with me. At the end of the day, your shit could be laced. I've had friends that smoke pieces with other people and the shit was laced, and they're laced right now. So no funny shit. Like, I'm not even being funny with you. So like
that ties into mental health too. You want to create a safe space for your children, your friends.
I know you're gonna try it. I know you're gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna shun upon you, and then you're gonna know that you're gonna catch on that this is not fucking cigarettes. This is weed. Like, I'm not about to be a hypocrite. That's crazy. I'm not gonna condone it, but I'm gonna tell you, this is something that we're gonna have to, try here, home where you're safe. If this is really what you want to do, this can be laced. I'm not being funny. I'm, whatever. If you want your friend to come, I got to talk to her parent, whatever the case is, whatever. I'm just so open with like communication that we can be very open.
What if she's too scared and go against the grain and try it outside?
I'm not gonna like be like, oh, whatever. I'm gonna tell her like real shit. Like, I'm gonna literally tell her. I might even drive down Farmington Avenue and show her like I went to school with that person. Yeah, like, I'm not being funny. I'm really just steering you in the right path. Like,
yeah.
You don't know drugs. The way that it's going now, can you imagine when she gets older? What the fuck?
No, I don't.
The way that it's going now?
What it looks like when I get older.
Like, it's so bad right now. Like, it's, yeah.
But yeah, that ties into mental health. Sorry to get off topic, but it just came to my head. But, yeah. I'm very proud of me. I almost didn't make it. Fighting them demons is huge. It was huge for me. That shit was, I was in that shit. And yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
God has a big purpose for me, and I owe him all the glory. And for just walking with me and holding me and never leaving my side through all that fucking turmoil and that tornado I was in. Knowing that I shouldn't have been in, but I was. And I had to sit the fuck down.
You had to slow down.
Yeah, sit the fuck down. Like, get out of that. Out of that shit. So, yeah.
Sometimes you got to go through some stuff, to really go through some stuff.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, bitch, you ain't learning. Let me set this shit up for you.
You're very hard-headed. We can be, so. We all have our ways, It's all about just like learning and stuff. And it's crazy because when you go through all that stuff, you realize everything that you took for granted, and you're just like, I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sweating the small stuff in a sense, because it's like all that you have is just such a blessing. And at one point, I don't know, where all of y'all have been, but at one point you might have everything that you always pray for. Like, I remember there was a time I prayed for home and, the easiest things, a car, like things like that. Like, I have those things. I'm blessed. Like, the littlest things that you think that is just like normal, it's really not. We have heat, we have like food, like that's such a blessing. At one point didn't have that. I feel like in the beginning of the year I was just working through a lot of stuff. My mental health was pretty fucked up, just because I went through a really bad breakup. And I was trying to get through a lot of trauma that I went through. And then, I was in therapy, and I started trying to take, medication and stuff like that. And my experience is just like, since I have state medical, we're going to get real. I have state medical. I feel like you get the worst of the worst treatment. Like, people will prescribe you anything, and they're not even looking at you. They don't even know, what you've been through, or they're just giving you different prescriptions. So I felt like I couldn't really I wasn't on top of my medication because I didn't trust the people that were giving me the scripts. It's like, I felt like they were just giving me anything. Sometimes I would look it up and I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
I'm confused. What you mean? Like just giving you anything?
Like prescribe me anything. Like not even really, because I asked one of my doctors, like, oh, can you look into my chart? Like to see what the things that I've been through, you know, my diagnosis, PTSD and this and that and whatever. So just so he can know what kind of medication would be a good fit for me. It was like 3 times he didn't look into my chart. It's obvious, it's clear that you're not doing the effort to really understand me. So you're giving me these prescriptions. You don't even know me. You don't even know my health. You don't even know where I'm at right now. How can you prescribe me this? And then if I tell you it didn't work, all right, so we're going to try this. Like what? Like you're literally just writing it off.
That's so weird. I've never heard somebody have that experience. So
Yeah.
you find a doctor, you're finding a psychiatrist. APRN, LPN, somebody that can prescribe you meds.
Yeah.
Okay, boom. So you find the APRN or LPN or whoever's prescribing you the medication. How did you find them?
Like 2-in-1, I think.
Okay, so 211, you call them.
Yeah,
and you say,
they give you like the medical number for like, you know, if you're looking for a prescriber, and yeah, you just call. It's like go down the line. You want to see what location or whatever, you call the location that you want to be at. You get a doctor, make an appointment, things like that.
So they do the one-on-one interview, and then they say, okay, so I think you should try this. Okay. And you didn't feel safe?
No, it's just like one of the doctors, he pretty much every time, like, I mean, you could pick up on a lot. So if you're going to the doctor and they're talking to you and like they're not making eye contact, they're not asking you, you know, certain questions that you feel like are important, you know, to be prescribed medication. Like it's just, you pick up on a lot of things. I mean, we're grown. So if someone is not really treating you, you know, like making you feel seen or heard or cared, you know, for, and they're just like treating you like I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like when you have state medical, for the most part, you do get the bare minimum treatment. And that's very fair to say, because I've known people that have had experiences like that.
I can't say I have.
Maybe it's doctors in like Hartford, like that doctor was in Rocky Hill, but I went to Charter Oak Health Center in Hartford. That was a horrible experience too. The psychiatrist there was sexist. So that was like my first experience. And I was super young. And it's like, it's weird because they treat me like I'm doing something wrong and I'm trying to get myself help. Like I'm not here because a fucking lawyer is telling me or court or mandated. Like I'm here because I want to get myself help, because I'm having these kind of like, with me is like my anger. Like I have a really bad temper. I have a really bad anger, you know, problem. And, you know, a lot of things that I've been through, I feel like certain situations may trigger feelings. And then I just feel like, and abandonment is also something that triggers it. So with the doctor situation, I've been dropped by a few doctors because they just, I feel like they don't want to take on my case because it's a lot of trauma. It's a lot of shit. And they just really, I mean, it's been like 3 doctors. So I can't really tell you, and I really do try my best to like do everything that I need to do. I'm polite, I'm whatever, but it's just, you get the bare minimum treatment. And after a while of that, you know, I have something to say.
Fuck you, your mother, your kids.
And it's just crazy because if I'm seeing you for these things and I on my chart, I have PTSD, I have these different situations, why the fuck are you going to drop me because I'm having a hard time?
What do you mean?
Like if we kind of have like a little argument, like if I tell you like, oh, I feel like you're not listening to the guy that didn't look into my chart 3 times. I'm like, I feel like you're prescribing me stuff and not really paying attention to what I really need. His response was, well, you know, if you don't really like the way you're being treated, then you can get another doctor. That's literally what he said. So then I spazzed because it's like, what? Like, why would you say that? Like, I'm coming to these appointments. I'm not late. I'm not smelling like weed. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not rude. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. That's my problem. I have a temper problem. So it's like, if I try so many things and I'm trying my best to be the best person that I can possibly be through situations that I really feel like, you know, spazzing or saying something or whatever, and then you say something like that, that's when I blow up. Because like, why would you say that to me? If
And-
you don't like the way that you're being treated, you can go, like, what? All I said was, I feel like you're not, because you didn't look into my chart. That's all I said. That's valid. I feel like that's valid. 3 times. You didn't talk to my therapist next door. My therapist was, and that's when I was going through all that shit. And I was having like, we gonna get real. I was having like homicidal thoughts. Like I was like really like the shit that I was going through. I was really like, yeah. I'm like, I need to get help. Like I'm a mom. Like this is not normal having homicidal thoughts. So that's why I was like, so when I told him that, he responded with that, and then I spazzed. And then after that, he was like, yeah, so yeah, we're done here. And yeah, and then I found out that since I saw my therapist with that same company, I lost my therapist too. So that abandonment was just like another layer of just like more trauma. And and that happened another time just recently. I just again was dropped.
So you're saying in your experience, you have yet to find a stable therapist, APRN?
I have a therapist. She's great. I've had her for like all year. She's great.
Okay.
But doctor.
Your
Doctor,
med prescriber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Psychiatrist and MD.
Okay.
But it's really the psychiatrist. I feel like they don't want to help you. Like that's my experience, that maybe they want to do the bare minimum. And my case is so heavy, like all the shit that I've been through and the stuff that recently that's happened, it's like it sounds made up because it's just so much
I
that
don't
they're
feel
just
like it's heavy. Like
well, that's how right. That's how she made me feel. So she just could not relate, and she was just so like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Literally, like that was literally her vibes.
And what was her job?
She was a psychiatrist.
So how the fuck could you not be in touch with somebody else's emotions?
There's so many people in those kind of roles that don't want to fucking help. Just like I've done jobs where we're literally helping people, and that's literally our job, and they don't want to help them. Like they're just like, oh, you sure that they need this? You sure that they need a jacket? You sure that they need a free, whatever? What the fuck? It's free. We're here to help them. This is not like I've literally seen it. Like some people are put in positions where they're supposed to help people and they fucking don't. And that is a segue to mental health and the spread on like, poor treatment. And if I was somebody else, I would just give up. I would be like, fuck it. If the doctors don't want to help me, whatever. Because that's how mental health works. Like you start guilting yourself into like, you know what, maybe I just fuck this shit. Maybe I don't need to get no help. That doesn't make any sense. But like you have to pick back up, get a new doctor, whatever. You have to just pick back up and just keep going. Because if not, you're in control of your life. How are you going to get through your stuff? I mean, if you've tried everything else, if you tried the journaling, if you tried the walks, if you tried the tea and things like that, the shit that you're going through, if it's so heavy, you need to talk to your doctor, get help. If you feel like you need to try medication, then do that. Do it the right way. Talk to your doctor. Like you said, some people are doing drugs. Some people...
Or go to the emergency room. If you ain't got time to wait for no doctor, go to the emergency room.
Yeah, like let's not be too prideful. We're in charge of our own lives. Like, and most of us have kids. So if you don't check up on your mental health, if you don't do what you have to do, then who's going to do it for you?
But there's also people who think that there's nothing wrong with them because of how out of touch with their own emotions, that they become completely numb.
Desensitized.
And just live their life how they live it and don't see anything wrong with it.
And that's on them, but don't spread that. Like if there's someone that you feel like is going through something that needs help, if you're so used to living your life, like whatever, help a person out. Or, if you're in a job where you can make a referral, like, help someone, like it's free. Like, I don't know, give them, if you see someone that's back into drinking, give them a number to AA meetings, like just in case, you just never know. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's not many people, like people are just so living off survival, and that's the worst. Like nobody really looks out for each other.
I think kind of like, in my experience, like I was living off survival since I was 19, and that's all that I knew. Like that's just the way of life how it became.
Mm.
And for some people, that's like all that they know. Like,
Right.
I ain't got time to do nothing else. Like, I got time to make shit happen. That's just where we come from.
Right. And it's crazy because like the shit that I've been through, that like the way that like I've seen people, you know, turn to just fucked up shit. I'm glad that it hasn't affected me in the way that, you know, that I'm not desensitized. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not out of touch with emotions or how somebody may feel. And like, I'm not, you know, I didn't let it affect me, because some people let the trauma affect them, and, you know, hurt people. And I'm glad that's why I do the daily work, and I, you know, whatever I have to do, meditate, journal, take long showers, get some extra sleep in the morning, you know, whatever, have a mental health day, like, you know, kind of like an easier day. Maybe order out if I don't feel like, if I'm mentally, you know, I had a long day, maybe order out that night. Like, I'm just not putting that much pressure on myself. Like I'm going to just do what I can to work through it. I'm not going to put the ultimate pressure and everything has to be a certain way, because that's realistically, it's not like that. But it's just as hard because you start guilting yourself sometimes when you're not as, you know, as productive as you want to be because of your mental health. You guilt yourself into, damn, like, you know, feeling bad. But it's like, you gotta be real with yourself. You gotta be human.
The main thing is being a human. It is okay. It is okay. It is okay. It is okay. I learned that because I operated as a robot. It is okay to fucking breathe and to fucking live and to be sad and fucking cry and scream it. Like, it is okay. It's an emotion. Keyword in emotion is motion. That shit's supposed to flow. It's emotion. I feel that. I'm sad. That shit gonna flow. It's not gonna stay there forever. You're supposed to feel that. You can't like tuck that. You can't keep tucking it. After a while, that shit'll catch up.
Yeah.
And your whole fucking body will like not explode, but it'll like go through like a shock, because it's like all that shit you was holding down gotta come up sometime. It's going to. If you don't do it, your body will. I know.
Misplaced anger, all type of shit. Fuck around, do something that you can't take back.
True that. Because you snapped. And you don't even know what the fuck happened, or your body reacted. It got tired. Can't keep, you know, ducking it down. Yeah. But yeah, that's like that show experience was like that. Yeah,
it does suck, but it's life. It's just, I'm not going to give up. I'm still going to, you know, I could easily pay for a really good doctor and whatever, but I'm not going to do that because you're in a position where you're supposed to help people. So I'm just going to keep advocating for myself and for the people that really can't do that.
It does suck. And I will say I did have an experience where I had to get in contact with an APRN because my therapist couldn't do a specific job that I needed her to do. And to get that APRN, I think I called like 20 doctors. And they were like, not taking patients, not taking patients, not taking patients, not taking patients. The last fucking doctor I called was like, I can take you. I could have stopped like after 10, like, bitch, I ain't got time for this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I done try. Ain't nothing work. But you really got to put that work in.
You have to put that work in.
Like, a lot of people I know, like, because I've been with my therapist for so long and I talk so highly of her, they ask me, who do I go to? And if I could, you know, call my therapist, see if she's taking new patients or whatever. I'm like, just because my shit work don't mean that it's going to work for you. And I'm not turning them away. I'm like, here you go. But I've been with her for so long. Like, she know me. I know her. I got her personal number.
It's a different
like,
experience.
It's a different experience. It's a different type of relationship that we built. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't just, oh, I attended an appointment, now I'm straight. No. Therapy
it's years
is
of work.
Years of work. And like, that shit get real uncomfortable because you're talking about shit that you probably said that you was never going to talk about, but you have to get to the next level.
Right.
You got to heal that. The boxes that you've been putting away, all emotions is feeling, no, we're going to talk about it. You have to.
Right. Because it's going to come up either way.
But yeah, no, we can't even walk over that. We got to talk about where you at now, how you feeling now, what your mental state was before, how it is now.
So, well, we mentioned the beginning of the year. Working through that therapy, love my therapist. Shout out to Kevin. Kevin recommended her High Life. Love him so much. She's been great, and we've been working through some stuff. Trigger warning: if you know violence or anything like that is a sensitive topic for you, then we don't recommend that you continue to watch. But on October 5th, my two of my clients were involved in a murder-suicide at my job. So that was really, really tough because I pretty much worked by myself. So I saw them every day. And although I didn't have, I never had like grandparents really. They were like my grandparents. They saw me every day, and that was a relationship that I'd never had before. And I really valued. So that was really, really tough on me, and continue to go to that same place where it happened. And when you physically saw, it just wasn't right. It wasn't a right situation for me. So I had to take a moment off from work. If you feel like if you go through something at work, there are resources that can help you, FMLA, things like that. So find out, the resources that you have and utilize them. So that's what I did, because I just really couldn't realistically, like, going back to that place and like the graphics and seeing, like, the stains on the floor, and just like, you just couldn't, like, the flashbacks, it was just so traumatic. It was just it was such a shock. Like, I'm going to work, like I'm building a relationship with these people. Like, I'm not expecting nothing. I'm going to work. Like, so, and it was just a lot. Like I kept going through how it happened. And like, I literally just left 5 minutes to grab a coffee, and I came back and to see that. And so I was just like, what if I didn't leave? And so you go through your mental health, you go through so many different scenarios. And I was going through like a lot of anger because I could have easily been taken away from my daughter that day. And I just was like really fucking angry that I was put in that position, and I'm just going to work to make money to pay the fucking bills. So took a break from that. Really was having really kind of like a tough time I'm not even gonna lie, because there was a lot of things after that happened that about. Yeah. We're not gonna go into, but there was a lot of things that just kept happening back to back to back, and then was dropped by my doctor, my psychiatrist. So really not a good time while I'm trying new meds. So really not a good time to just not have a doctor when you're trying new meds and you don't really know what's gonna happen after. So that didn't help. And then we recently lost a hood legend, Cool Q. If you listen to our theme song, that's who's on our theme song with Fox. Shout out to Fox.
Blueberry Runts.
Yeah. So, and I was really like, I was cool with Q. So that just like was not easy. It just was really, really hard, because I'm the type of person, if I see talent in you, I'm going to push you, and I'm going to be like your fan, and I don't care. Like, I'm not too proud to tell you that you're worth this, and so I used to send him a bunch of, different things happening, and like, he'd be like, oh, look for the price and look for this and whatever. And like, I set up an interview for him and whatever. Like, I'm like, get out there. Like, cause some people, they know what they have, but it's just, they sleep on it. And he said it in the interview. And that's the crazy part about it, that he said that he was kind of sleeping on his talent. And that's kind of why, like, that's kind of what has woken me up recently, which is crazy, because with all that's happened throughout the year, that interview, that little clip is like, damn, at the end of the day, I'm still blessed. I still have life. I still have another opportunity to make, something shake. So it was like, that reminded me, like, I'm sleeping on my talent, and I'm sleeping on my abilities. So that's really like what's been waking me up.
Why you trolling, bro? Come on, big homie Buzzo. Big homie Buzzo.
Everybody don't make the cut, you gotta filter them out like IG stories. I need money like you deadbeat niggas need Maury. Made $10,000 out the Honda accordingly. Pull up clutch with the stuff like Robert Horry, who got it for me. I had to tell her stop lying to me and lying on me. Pop up on a bitch just to ruin the weekend like cold sores on a Friday morning. You're not important as you think, that was your mama doing. Got you thinking then you hotter than that TikTok model, but I'm just not influenced. Stop it, stupid, it's deadly force and I'ma use it. It's hill talking, we just ride into it. I tell my youngin' play it cool when he spot the cruiser, but he's so motherfucking dumb, the little nigga almost drives into him, yeah.